be good? Yeah.
Yeah, that's karma.
I just don't think that's real.
But it's better to believe in that. It's better.
What you believe in should be based on what you can observe, not what you think would be the best for the world.
Okay, but you can't observe atheism.
Well, you can observe the lack of evidence of there being a God.
How do you observe that?
I've yet to see any evidence of it.
Love and life, like feeling.
Jesus has not revealed himself to me. Jesus has revealed himself on earth before, right? He's supposed to be coming back.
Right. But what about the connection that you have with your daughter? There's something that you feel. It's a different feeling. When you look into her eyes, there's a different feeling that you get than when you look into my eyes or something like that. That's a feeling.
That doesn't lead me in the direction of believing in God at all.
But I'm saying you can't observe that. That's not something but it's something that you feel and that your daughter feels and that everybody in the room, like that's energy. That's not something you can describe, but it is real.
I can describe it.
But you can't see it. And you're talking about you can't observe God. You can't observe that feeling either.
If I was going to believe in God, I would need a reason, right? Like, especially a specific religion, like Christianity. Like, the idea of believing in a God is one thing. The idea of believing in this specific God based on this book, of which its origin seems very dubious to me, that I have a real problem with.
Maybe you don't have to believe in a specific religion, but the idea of God, I think, is good to follow.
See, this is the degradation of what it actually means to be religious. Because when I was talking to my mom recently, and I asked her, when you were a kid, what did it mean to be religious? And she said that if you didn't believe in heaven and hell, that nobody would have considered you a Christian. Yeah. If you didn't believe that the Bible was the direct word of God, then there's no way that anybody would have considered you a Christian or religious. These days, people give themselves credit for being religious just by saying, I believe in God. Yeah, like I'm the kind of person that believes in God, etc. And they spend no time reading the Bible or familiarizing themselves with these texts or they're going to church or trying to familiarize themselves with how God would want them to live their life or whatever. They just say they're religious and then they just move on with it.
Is that wrong?
Yeah, it's stupid. It's just such a surface level engagement with something that's supposed to, if God is real, it should be like the most important thing in your life. You should spend all your time thinking, if I believed that God was real, I would spend all my time trying to get closer to knowing exactly what God wanted for me.
That seems like a waste of time.
Why? If there was a supernatural being that was controlling the universe?
Or you should understand that life is the way it is and it's just better to follow that. You don't need to constantly seek it because that's going to drive a lot of people insane.
If there was a God, it would be the most fascinating thing in the whole world. If there was even a hint of evidence of him existing, it would be the most insane thing in the world. Instead, like religious studies are like the most boring thing in the world because there's nothing to sink your teeth into.